Reincarnation, the 13-year-old vow. Chapter 1, Oblivion and Rebirth. The night was low, the cold wind was biting. Zhang Tinggan climbed the rock wall and slid down step by step. His feet were unstable for a while, his body rolled out of control, and finally fell into the bottomless valley. At the last moment of his life, he looked at the man who had tortured himself but loved him with his life, Mu Chenkai. His eyes were full of pain and affection. In your life, you still have a chance. There is still a chance to change everything. Mu Chenkai's voice echoed in his ears like a ghost. When he opened his eyes again, Zhang Tinggan found that he was 13 years old again, when he first learned the darkness of the world, and it was also the time when Mu Chenkai was tortured the most. Chapter 2, Teenagers Meet. 13-year-old Mu Chenkai was thin and helpless, with bruises on his face and no help. Zhang Tinggan did not hesitate and rushed into the cold old mansion. He clasped Mu Chenkai's small hand and whispered, "Don't be afraid, I won't let you suffer anymore." The young man's heart warmed slightly, and at that moment, the two souls whose fates were intertwined ignited the initial flame in the cold world. Chapter 3, The Calm Before the Storm. Zhang Tinggan began to secretly protect Mu Chenkai, whether it was bullying at school or indifference at home, he became Mu Chenkai's only support. They followed them like shadows, and Zhang Tinggan used firmness and domineering to build a barrier to block all storms. However, unbeknownst to the teenagers, the real test has just begun. Chapter 4, The Dark Tide is Surging. Zhang Tinggan's family and the forces behind Mu Chenkai secretly colluded, and a conspiracy woven for power and hatred gradually emerged. Mu Chenkai was forced to accept layers of oppression, and Zhang Tinggan was in the storm step by step, not only to protect Mu Chenkai, but also to uncover those dark truths. The trust and love for each other became stronger and stronger under pressure. Chapter 5, The Overbearing Guardian. Zhang Tinggan is no longer the bullied teenager, he has become ruthless and domineering, and even crushed the enemies one by one at all costs. The domineering he once hated has now become a sharp blade to protect Mu Chenkai. In his eyes, Mu Chenkai is no longer a weak victim, but the only one he guards with his life. Chapter 6, The Vortex of Emotion. Mu Chenkai gradually grew up and began to rebel against the shackles of fate, but there was still uneasiness and fear in his heart. Zhang Tinggan's domineering and gentleness are intertwined, making Mu Chenkai fall into a struggle between love and pain. The relationship between the two burned like a flame and tore each other apart like a storm. Chapter 7, A Sudden Betrayal. Just when the two were about to face everything hand in hand, Zhang Tinggan's cronies betrayed them. The enemy's strength swept away, Mu Chenkai was captured, and Zhang Tinggan fell into despair. He gritted his teeth and vowed, "I will never let you be hurt again, I will exchange my life for your freedom." Chapter 8, The Oath of the Cliff. Zhang Tinggan chased to the steep cliff, his eyes flashing with madness and determination. Mu Chenkai was tied to the edge of the cliff, his body was weak, but his eyes were still firm. "Tinggan, don't give up on me." The two looked at each other, their hands clasped tightly, and the oath that blood was thicker than water echoed in the mountain wind. Fate is like a knife, cutting through their bonds. Chapter 9, A New Beginning. Zhang Tinggan opened his eyes and returned to the day he was 13 years old, his heart full of determination and remorse. He is no longer cowardly, this time, he wants to use his entire youth to protect Mu Chenkai and rewrite the tragedy of his previous life. Hand in hand, they started from scratch and walked towards the light step by step. underscore 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 un. Chapter 10, The Reincarnation and Eternity of Fate. The teenagers supported each other in the dark, and Zhang Tinggan finally understood, love is not control, nor pain, but the courage to burn life for each other. This time, they are no longer afraid of the challenge of fate. The 13-year-old vow will become the most indestructible force in their lives. Chapter 11, Guardian in the Night. Zhang Tinggan started from the starting point of 13 years old and started a new life with Mu Jiankai. He guarded Mu Jiankai's side day and night, whether it was bullying at school or family abuse, he was intercepted with a firm attitude and fearless actions. One night, Zhang Tinggan accidentally found Mu Jiankai surrounded by several bullies in the corner of the campus. He rushed forward without hesitation, shocked the other party with his fists and cold gaze, and established his own legend on the campus. Mu Jiankai looked at the domineering guardian in front of him, and his eyes flashed with a reassuring light that he had never felt before. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 12, The Shadow of the Family. However, the shadow of the family is still like a heavy iron chain, tightly binding Mu Jiankai's heart. Mu Jiankai's father was the master of the family business, and he was ruthless to him, and often used harsh means to make Mu Jiankai obey. Zhang Tinggan noticed these unusual behaviors and decided to investigate secretly. He discovers that Mu Jiankai's family is mired in power struggles and entanglements of interests, and many dark secrets are hidden beneath the glossy surface. Zhang Tinggan knew that if he wanted to protect Mu Jiankai, he had to first break the layers of shackles. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 13, A Sudden Ally. In an accident, Zhang Tinggan got acquainted with a distant relative who was also dissatisfied with Mu Jiankai's family, Shen Wushuan. Shen Wushuan has a calm personality and is strategic, and has silently accumulated strength in the family. She offered to assist Zhang Tinggan and fight against the dark forces of the family together. The trio form a fragile but determined alliance and begin to lay out in the shadows, trying to stir up the family's silent waters. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 14, The Road of Rebellion. Zhang Tinggan took Mu Jiankai to reveal the family's secrets step by step, and at the same time strengthen the feelings between them. Mu Jiankai gradually broke the haze of the past, began to bravely face his inner fear, and dared to resist his father's suppression. Zhang Tinggan guarded him with a domineering and gentle attitude and became his most solid support. They have rescued each other many times in danger, and their feelings have become deeper and deeper. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 15, The Crisis Reappears. Just when everything seemed to be on the right track, Mu Jiankai's father sensed that the situation was abnormal and began to tighten control. He designed to isolate Mu Jiankai, and even used Zhang Tinggan as a bargaining chip to force the two to separate. Zhang Tinggan is forced to face the test of whether he can support this relationship with love and strength. Mu Jiankai also began to doubt the value of his existence and fell into confusion. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 16, The Cliff Reunion. After a series of life and death tests, Zhang Tinggan and Mu Jiankai met again on a steep cliff. This time, the two are no longer helpless teenagers, but hand in hand, facing the coming storm. Zhang Tinggan clasped Mu Jiankai's hand and whispered, "This time, I won't let you go." Mu Jiankai nodded with tears, and the figures of the two merged into one in the mountain wind, as firm as an oath. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 17, The Destruction of Fate. With the help of the alliance, Zhang Tinggan and Mu Jiankai uncovered the larger conspiracy behind the family. They discover that the dark forces of the clan are in collusion with outside illegal groups and control the fate of the entire city. The two decided not to hold back and began to openly challenge this force. With wisdom and courage, they set off a storm of justice and fought for freedom and peace. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 18, The Darkness Before the Light. The storm has not subsided, and Mu Jinkai was severely injured by his father's revenge and fell into a coma. Zhang Tinggan fought alone in desperation to resist the enemy's siege. In the darkest moments, he recalled the experience of his previous life and the inseparable love. He decided to trade his life for Mu Jinkai's future, at all costs. Chapter 19, The Oath of Eternity. Mu Jinkai woke up and saw Zhang Tinggan covered in scars, but his eyes were resolute. The two hugged each other tightly, and there was no distance between each other's hearts. Zhang Tinggan said softly, "No matter how dark it is ahead, we will go down together." Mu Jinkai burst into tears. "Me is the same, never separated." Chapter 20, A New Dawn. After the baptism of wind and rain, the family's conspiracy was dismantled, and Zhang Tinggan and Mu Jinkai won their own peace. They are no longer victims, but masters of fate. In the dawn, the two walked hand in hand to the future, carrying each other's love and strength to meet every challenge in life. Chapter 21, Uncovering the Final Truth. Zhang Tinggan and Mu Jinkai know that the darkness behind the family is only the tip of the iceberg. Together with Shen Wushuan, they infiltrated a secret archive and discovered a shocking conspiracy of collusion between the family and political and business forces. It turned out that Mu Jinkai's father not only oppressed him for many years, but also used him as a bargaining chip to make huge profits. The two were shocked by the truth, but they were also more determined to destroy the corrupt system. Chapter 22, Broken Trust and Rebirth. Faced with the truth revealed, Mu Jinkai collapsed for a while and began to doubt the meaning of his existence. Zhang Tinggan patiently accompanied him and told him repeatedly, "You are not their pawn, but the most important person in my life." The two are honest with each other, gradually repairing each other's trust. This love is no longer the fog of the previous life, but the tenacity of steel after going through the ordeal. Chapter 23, Eventual Showdown. Unwilling to retreat, the dark forces sent killers to attack the two bases. Zhang Tinggan, Mu Jinkai and Shen Wushuan fought side by side and experienced a bloody battle. With their mutual understanding and wisdom, they finally defeated the core of the Dark Ones. That night, the starry sky was shining, symbolizing the dawn of new life and hope. Chapter 24, True Freedom. After experiencing the test of life and death, Zhang Tinggan and Mu Jinkai finally came out of the haze. They no longer run away, nor do they hide anymore. Mu Jinkai wrote the shady scenes of the family in his own handwriting, which was exposed by the media, which completely changed the fate of the family. The two joined hands and started a new life. Chapter 25, The Eternal Oath. Under the cherry blossom tree, Zhang Tinggan held Mu Jinkai's hand tightly, his eyes firm. "This time, we are not only lovers, but also each other's patron saints." Mu Jinkai smiled, and his tears contained infinite tenderness. "No matter how far the future goes, I am willing to accompany you through it." Their vows, like petals drifting in the wind, bloom into eternal beauty. Postscript. The story of two souls entangled, struggling, and redeeming in the torrent of fate. It teaches us that even when life is full of darkness and betrayal, sincerity and courage can still light the way forward. Zhang Tinggan and Mu Jinkai used their love and persistence to break the shackles of fate and become the masters of their own lives. May all those who are lost in fate find the hands that are willing to clench and go to a bright future together.